Namaste my dear children. I hope you all are safe at home and everything is good with you. Yes, so in our previous session, we all learned about the unit 3, isn't it? So now we are going to see some exercises about unit 3. So let's proceed with the classes. Alright. What is alliteration? Anybody who knows what is alliteration? Alliteration means what, children? What is alliteration? Any guesses? By now you would have guessed. Okay. Let me give you a hint. Alright. So let me read out something and let me see if anybody is able to find out what is alliteration. Alright. So let's see. Adam ate an apple. Beth blew her blue balloon. Kathy calls her cat Carla. Dean dines with Dan at Domino's. Any guesses? What is the alliteration here? Let me tell you. Look at this. Adam ate and apple ate. The whole verse starts with A. Isn't it? Then the next one B. The next one C. The next one D. It's not necessary to start with the sequence of alphabetical order. Not at all. But the thing is, alliteration is something which starts with the same consonant or a vowel sound or the letter. Alright, so that is what is called an alliteration. So let's have a more focus on this. What is the meaning of alliteration? Alliteration is a figure of speech used to create rhythm and bring focus to a line or sentence in a piece of written material. So what do we mean by this? Rather than blindly reading this as a synonym from the meaning of alliteration, let us understand what is written. See, whenever you read a poem, isn't it? In that, the verses and all will have the alliteration in that. The rhythmic sound or the rhyming words. Isn't it, children? So, all these together is what is called an alliteration. That is, it will have a rhythm. In this poem, let us see what is the alliteration they are talking about. Alright? See, alliteration has been focused on mood, emotions and rhythm. We are going to have a clear look on these three scenarios. Alright? So what are moods? Moods are feelings that are long lasting than emotions and have no clear starting point of formation. Moods, like for today, example, we may tell you that today I am in a very good mood. I don't know why, but I am in a very good mood. So whenever you are in a good mood, everything what you see to be or everything what you do, you will be having a nice positive energy, like. Okay, so that is what is called. See, what are the moods here? Laughing, confused, sleepy, angry, staring, happy. All these are what called moods. What are emotions? Let's see. Alright. So, what are emotions? Emotions are short-lived feelings that come from a known cause. You know what is the cause of an emotion. Imagine you are watching a movie. The movie is very funny. So you will be in very humorous mood. You will be in a very laughing mood. Yes? And imagine if you are seeing another movie or a short film. That is having a very sad ending. So you will not be in a good emotion. So you will be very sad. You will be very dull. So those are called emotions. See, emotions can range from happy, sarcastic, sad, prideful, while moods are either positive or negative. So mood is nothing but it should have a positive or a negative. Either you people are positive or either you people are negative in that. Okay. So see all these emojis here. Yes. So all these are emotions. So let's see what is the rhythm we are talking about. Rhythm. The measured flow of words and phrases in verse or prose as determined by the relation of long and short or stressed and unstressed syllables. So rhythm, there are couple of meanings of this particular word, rhythm. One is related to the music what we are talking about. The same related to music, but how it is being described in a verse, in a poem. The rhythmic words the poet will write in all the poems. If you take any poem which you like, no, if you just have a comparison, the rhythmic words will be definitely given. So that is what they are talking about. The rhythmic words what they give, no, that is the reason why they have to stress or unstress those syllables. So that is what they are talking about. Alright. So what we have an activity for today. See, find an example of alliteration in the poem. So in the given poem in the unit 3, you have to find what are the alliteration words given in that. Alright. So see what is alliteration, I have already explained it to you. It is repetition of the consonant at the beginning of 2 or more words in a line. One example is already given. Mother, twist my ears. Mother starts with M. My also starts with M. So that is how they are given a small example here. Alright. So what is our job now? What we are supposed to do, children? We are supposed to find out the alliteration words in the given poem. So I have already displayed the answer. Did you all guess the answers? Look at these pictures. What are these pictures? This one is the ginger. This one is the garlic. Ginger, garlic. G and G starts with G, isn't it? So this is one of the alliteration pair. And what is an other alliteration pair? What are these? These are sesame seeds. And these are general varieties of seeds. Alright. So sesame seeds starts with S, starts with S. So this is an other pair of alliteration words. Alright. So this is what they are helping us to understand in this poem. So most of the alliteration, no, it falls on the tongue twisters. Yes, because most of the tongue twisters, they start with the same letter. If you take about butter, if you take about Peter, or if you take about this, they will start with the same letter. Either T, P, S, something like that. Any tongue twister if you take. Yeah, see what is this telling us about. Mr. Tongue Twister tried to train his tongue to twist and turn and twit and tat to learn the letter T. Yes, so this is one of the tongue twister. And see how much of alliteration it has. Tongue T, twister T. Tried to T. Train T, tongue T. The same way, look at the alliteration twit and tat. See, so all these are called alliteration. I hope you have a very clear idea now about alliterations. Very easy to understand, isn't it? And the next quick recap about how do we tell a story by pictures. Alright. So what is this? Tell the story of the poem in 3 or 4 sentences with the help of the given pictures below. So in your English course book, they have given only 4 pictures, children. Alright. In order to help you out, I have just written the story in a small line. Alright. So what is the first picture? Raj's mother sent him to Muthu's shop. Alright. What is the second picture saying us? She asked him to buy cinnamon, betel leaves, ginger and garlic. Where is the alliteration here? Ginger and garlic. G and G is the alliteration here. Alright. So let's go ahead with the third picture. But he had forgotten those and bought sesame seeds, onions, tomatoes and pickles. Yes. So what is the alliteration here? Sesame S, seeds S. One more alliteration word we have found. Yes. What is the final picture? Mother twisted his ears when he had returned home. So this is one of the exercise in your English course book which I have already completed for you. So this why I have completed for you is because since we are not now lively in a class, in order to help you out, this is how we are supposed to describe or narrate a whole story with the help of the pictures. Short and sweet, but the whole story, the thing should be covered in that. Alright children, I hope the session is very clear. If you have any doubts, please get back to us. Thank you so much. Catch you all very soon in our next class. Bye-bye.